Oh, look who is back. What's good, everybody? Welcome in to your daily sports betting brand of record. We call it the Early Edge. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting, and it's not even close. I, of course, am the coach, and this is our very special Champions League semifinal, Stage 2 special episode with two of the greatest handicappers in the world today. Now, this week, what do we have? How about we set the stage for you before I bring in the stars of the show? Villarreal-Liverpool, Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Then Real Madrid-Man City, Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Both games you can stream on Paramount+. The Real Madrid-Man City game you can see on the Big Boy Network on CBS. It's important. It's important. Oh, we need the two best that I've got at my disposal. Look who it is. Oh, it feels so good to be back home. And when you two are on the show, it just feels like home too. All right, let's get into it. First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, he is expanding his MMA soccer empire. He has a brand new platform. If you haven't checked it out, check it out on social media. Buckets, welcome back to the Early Edge.
Thank you so much, Coach. It is great to be back as always. I did a show without the presence of the guru last week, and he was definitely missed. So I'm glad to be back with the mentor himself as well.
Oh, trust and believe. I got so many tweets about him not being on. What is Buckets? Just relax a little bit. Now, he is the mentor. He is live from just south of London, England. The guru, Martin W. Green. Hello, sir.
Hello, Coach. We had a great week last week, so maybe it was a good idea to split us up because whatever you did, it worked. We nailed all our bets. I would say that the first leg is always a bit easier because you can assess the relative strengths and weaknesses of the two teams, whereas the second leg is a bit harder because there's motivation concerns. But we will get into that throughout this video. I'm delighted to be on with you, gentlemen, and looking forward to breaking down these games.
And we are always delighted to have you on, sir, as you know. Now, as Martin said, be very, very careful this week. Because the first leg, it's all about can we score as much as we can. Now it's about aggregate. And so game number one, Villarreal and Liverpool. Liverpool comes in up 2-0, meaning they basically start the game with a 2-0 score. So that's very, very important if you're brand new to soccer betting. So Villarreal is a plus 390 underdog. Liverpool is minus 145. The draw comes in at plus 290. Again, this is Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Let's start with our storylines here, guys. And Martin, when we talk about Liverpool, they're having an incredible year. They have a chance to sweep all of the big tournaments that they play in, including the Champions League. And it's all about starting at the top with their manager. Talk to me.
That's correct, Coach. They've already won the EFL Cup. They're just 1 point behind Manchester City in the Premier League title race. They're in the FA Cup final next month, and they're going very well in the Champions League. And it's all about squad rotation for Jurgen Klopp. He's got a group of players at his disposal, and he needs to manage them correctly and really stay on top of fatigue levels with the individual players. So the big question for this game is, will Jurgen Klopp start his strongest 11? Because in the last round, his team beat Benfica 3-1 in the first leg, and he then took a really bold, somewhat risky decision to rest several important players for the second leg. It worked because they drew 3-3, they went through 6-4 in aggregate, and then those important players were fresh for the weekend's game where they actually beat the mighty Manchester City in the FA Cup semi-finals. So it worked really well. It's just, is he going to do it again? Because Liverpool, like I said, it's a really gripping title race between them and Man City in the Premier League. They've got Tottenham at the weekend. Huge game. So he's going to have one eye on that match. Does he rest his important players for this huge Champions League semi-final to preserve them for the Tottenham game? Or will he just send out his strongest starting 11? We just don't know, Coach. I wish I knew. I wish I could get inside his big German head, but I can't. So I think maybe we have to wait until we see the starting 11s to really go all in on this game, because with that 2-goal advantage, we're just not sure how he's going to approach it. Going to be fascinating, but I can't wait to see who he goes with for his team.
And if the one thing I've learned the last year and a half working with you is that these players, they would love to play every single game. They would love to have the energy, but they play, 11 months out of the year almost, 10 months out of the year? You got to give them rest where it matters. But it's also strategy, as you said. All right, we'll get to your pick in a second. But first, Buckets, I'm going to come to you. Now, before I have you give me your Villarreal take. We're doing this in real time. We're doing this live, are we not?
We are.
So you gave out a couple plays today on Twitter. You just cashed one as we were doing the show. How about Gladbach and RB Leipzig? BTTS. Bang it home. Catch it. Let's take it to the pay window one time live here on the show. Let's go. How about that? Did you already know, or are you just faking like you didn't know?
You saw me glimpse over real quick, and it was still 1-0 when I looked, though. So I went, ugh. So I was not. I was actually surprised there. Leipzig had me worried today.
No. They cashed this 1-1. We got it. We're good to go. All right, so let's get back to this show right now. Because Villarreal, we've been talking about how much they've surprised us by getting this far in the Champions League when in their own league, they're not even in the top 5. But injuries are starting to be an issue. What do you got, Buckets?
Absolutely. So while Klopp has his hands full with too many talented players, Emery on the Villarreal side is struggling with too many injuries. 3 of the top players currently, their top scorers, are all questionable, and one of them is absolutely not going to play in their upcoming match. Mourinho is doubtful. Pino is out for sure. And as of last week, Arnaut Dejuma is also doubtful. And it's one of those tricky things to where we won't know these lineups. As Martin said, I wish I could get in Emery's head here, but we're not going to know who's playing until an hour before the match starts. If all 3 of those guys end up being out as they are currently predicted, those 3 combined have 26 of Villarreal's 52 goals. So that is half of their goal-scoring power potentially on the bench resting. If that is the case, you're going to see some incredible line movement when those lineups are announced. So we need to keep an eye on that, and we just need to hope that Villarreal, no matter what, is able to put their best foot forward here.
I mean, think about it. I mean, they scored 0 last week. Now you're going to take 3 of their top players out of the lineup, and you want them to do anything? Oh, this is very, very risky. Follow my guys, Martin W. Green Buckets on social media. They're always active, especially right before the game, about an hour, once we see what the lineups are going to be out there. Now, let's get into our pick for this game, because this is very, very dicey. This is very, very difficult based off of what you guys have told me. So, Martin, I'm going to start with you, because sometimes I have learned that when it's not broke, hell, let's not fix it, right? What do you got, Martin?
Correct. I mean, if you just look at the 2 starting 11s, even if Jurgen Klopp does rest a few players, Liverpool are vastly superior to Villarreal. As they showed in the first leg, they could perhaps have won it by a higher margin than they actually did. Didn't take a couple of the chances that they created, but it was a performance completely devoid of ambition from Villarreal. They had 26% of the possession. They only had 1 shot on goal, and it wasn't on target. You can't score if you can't even get a shot on target. They barely got out of their own half. It was a dire performance from a neutral perspective, because you want to see an open, free-flowing game like the Man City Real Madrid game, but they just came, they parked the bus in front of the goal, they tried to keep the scoreline as respectable as possible. They can't do that in the second leg. You do that in the second leg, the best you can do is draw 0-0 and you go out 2-0 on aggregate. So they're going to have to take risks. They're going to have to change their game plan. They've got to abandon those ultra-cautious tactics. They need to pour men forward, basically, even if they've got their best strikers out injured. That's dangerous against a team like Liverpool. The pace they've got on the break, Salah, Mane, Diaz, Jota, you've got Thiago Alcantara with the creativity to spring those counter-attacks. I think it looks really risky for Liverpool. As I mentioned, I would like to see the starting 11s before betting on this game, but I really think Klopp should play a strong team and Liverpool really should win this game. If Villarreal open up and take risks, Liverpool have to score a couple of goals again. So I've got Liverpool to win and over 1.5 goals in the match. I got that at -105.
I love this number. I'm only laying 5 cents. I watched every single minute of that game last week, and it could have been 5-0. It could have been 6-0. So you can't change your stripes in 1 week. Villarreal is just going to try not to embarrass, in my opinion, just try not to embarrass themselves this week. So 2 goals, I like that. But does that fit with what Buckets is going to bring to the table in this game? Buckets, what do you got?
So I'm actually channeling my inner guru for this matchup. This is a very tricky game to cap. There's a lot of weird angles. We've already talked about the lineups in depth. It's just going to be hard to find the right lines here. So I'm also doing a same game parlay here, and I'm taking Liverpool or draw, double chance, and then I'm adding that with under 3.5 goals match total. And the reason for the under here is, again, we've already talked that Villarreal has a hard time creating chances, but with that Tottenham matchup, as Martin mentioned earlier, If Liverpool goes up here 1-0, 2-0, and they're up 4-0 aggregate here early on, they're going to rest players. They're going to pull people out. They're going to park the bus a little bit, and they're just going to kind of rest this game out and be happy with potentially a 2-0 or even 2-1 victory. There's no reason for them to go all out here, considering how many competitions they still have left. So I'm loving Liverpool or draw and the under here.
We've only had, I think, one time this year, Martin, where we played because that's the one thing you've taught us over the last couple of years is a great way to bring the number down is play that under 4.5 or play it under 3.5. I think only one time did the two teams go bananas, and we had like 6 or 7 goals, and we still won the game. We didn't win the bet. That drove me bananas. But I love it. So a 2-0 win again, that would cash every single bet that we have. So or even 3-0 would work, right? 3-0 would work, right?
2-0, 3-0, 2-1.
We'll take it.
We're all celebrating.
All right, my guys will have more picks Tuesday and Wednesday on the morning show, Early Edge, every single day at 10 a.m. Eastern time. But we still have one more game on Wednesday to talk about. But first, a little break here on the Early Edge.
I need you to produce a Godfather.
We need hits.
Can one thing go right with this picture?
Cut it!
You can't do any better than Paramount Plus sports, dramas, everything you want. Both of these games on Paramount Plus Tuesday and also Wednesday. Now, Buckets, we're doing this live, are we not?
Yes.
Oh, guess who just scored for you on one of your Twitter picks? I think Man United just scored. So let's see who. Oh, Bruno Fernandes.
Oh,
It was not. And I know you've got an anytime score for that as well, but you're halfway home. They're up 1-0. All right. Good for you, Buckets. Now, Real Madrid and Man City, one of the most exciting games I've seen in a really, really long time in game number 1. So here's what the odds look like coming in here. Man City leads 4-3 on aggregate. It really looked like, guys, that the way that game started, it was going to be a blowout. But Real Madrid hung in, and now they're only down 1 heading into the second leg. So Man City is a plus 106 favorite. Real Madrid plus 230 as the underdog. The draw coming in at plus 280. The over is all the way up to 3.5 in this game, plus 140. The under coming back at minus 170. So, Martin, 4 goals in leg number 1, and that's what Man City is all about. But can they do it in front of the goal, game number 2? Talk to me.
Yeah, it was a remarkable game, Coach. 4 goals, but I thought they could have scored 8. I mean, you saw Riyad Mahrez go through one-on-one with the keeper. He hit the post. He missed 2 golden chances. Eimer Laporte was about 8 yards out when he shot straight into Thibaut Courtois' hands. So they just seemingly carved that Real Madrid defense open at will throughout the game. But like you said, Real Madrid hung in. So I just think Man City needs to be a bit more clinical in front of goal in this game. They dominated possession. They had 60% of the ball. They were so creative. They were so energetic. It was a wonderful, wonderful performance from them. And I think they were unlucky not to win by a higher margin. Benzema scored that fantastic goal out of nothing. They got a penalty, which was a stupid handball from Eimer Laporte. And then there was that horrible matchup on the right where you had 36-year-old Fernandinho against Vinicius Jr., who's like the quickest player in the world. That was horrible, but that's not going to happen this time because they've got Joao Cancelo back. So you'll have him on the right. I just think Real Madrid just looked second best in that game. I think they're fortunate to only be 1 goal down. They'll have to be the aggressor in this one. They're going to need to commit men forward. They're going to be full of energy. They're going to be fresh because they rested their whole starting 11 at the weekend. But also, Man City rested Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, and Riyad Mahrez, who were their 3 best players for me in the first leg. So they're going to be fresh coming into this game. They're going to have lots of room in which to weave their magic. I think they're going to create loads of chances again in this one at the Bernabeu. It's just whether they can take their chances. If they can take their chances, Man City are going to win this one in 90 minutes for me.
You are too much, man. Your sense of humor is you're just a savage. You make me laugh. Real quick, because this is a live show. Buckets, my man Bill in the chat says, do you guys like BTTS in the Man U game going on now? Man U is 1-0. I believe that's one of your plays today, correct?
Correct.
There you go. So, Bill, that answers your question. Now, The odds are going to be a little bit higher now because you already have one goal in your back pocket. But if you want to play it, you've got about 80 minutes or 70 minutes to score one goal. There is nothing more agonizing than needing one goal for 80 minutes and not getting it. It's the worst.
It's better than wanting one goal for 8 minutes, though, Coach. 80 minutes is good.
Boom. You're very, 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 very correct. All right. So I love that storyline on the Man City side. But on the Real Madrid side, sometimes when you've got good momentum coming out of your league, that can lead into really good momentum in Champions League. What do you got, Buckets?
Real Madrid are once again the La Liga champions. They took a 4-0 victory over Espanyol last week and clinched the division once again. The players have had plenty of time to rest. In that 4-0 victory, we saw a lot of the starters rest. As Martin said, most of that starting 11 barely played at all, so they are rested. They have all the momentum in the world coming in to play now against their home fans at their home stadium. And again, they're the La Liga champions. We can't ignore the fact that this is a historic club that does really, really well in Champions League when they've got things good going for them domestically as well. So Real Madrid will be looking to come in here. They're going to put up a fight. They have to be the aggressors, but they've shown that they're able to do that. And I'm thinking that momentum of being the La Liga champions is going to give them an extra foot here that a lot of people aren't going to see. So I'm very, very excited for this matchup.
Yeah, I really am too. And unlike the Liverpool game, this had 7 goals last week. Why would we think that anything different would happen this week? So let's get into our board for this game. And Guru, let me come to you because you know me. You know how to make me happy. Give me goals. Give me both teams to score. And your boy is all good. Floor is yours.
You have to go with it, don't you, Coach? Both teams to score an over 2.5 goals. How can you not place that bet after watching the action last week? What a disappointment would it be if this just finished 0-0 as some drab game? It just doesn't seem possible, does it? The way they played against each other, it's like they don't know any other approach. They just have to go all guns blazing, throw men forward and have a chaotic game. I'm sure we're going to get another one. I can really see Man City scoring twice in this game. Just wasn't impressed with the Real Madrid defence at all in that match. But we've seen, haven't we, that Benzema only needs half a chance. You give him just like half a yard anywhere near the box, he seems to find the bottom corner. Can see him getting on the score sheet. So both teams to score an over 2.5 goals does look good to me. City have their injury problems in defence, don't they? But like I said, Joao Cancelo is going to be back. You'll probably get Zinchenko on the left. Then you can have Laporte and Diaz in the middle. That's a decent defence. And I just think going forward, Man City will have too much from Real Madrid. If Real Madrid take the game to them, they're going to be the ones taking risks. They're going to be the ones trying to overturn the deficit. Man City are experienced in this competition now. They've gone to big stadiums and won big games. And I just think them and Liverpool are the best teams in the world right now. I just don't think that Real Madrid have got enough to keep up with them. So I'm doing half a unit on a straight win for Man City, and odds of plus 110 look great.
Oh, they look absolutely fantastic. So we'll take that. Martin, we're doing the show live, correct?
We certainly are.
Oh, we are. I just want to make sure that we're doing it live. Which one of you had the mega underdog in the Atalanta game in your write-up? Salernitana. I butchered it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Salernitana, yeah.
Is that you, Martin?
Yeah, I think that sounds
Did you have that in the write-up at SportsLine? I was reading very, very quickly. Yes, and didn't somebody have both teams to score? Was that you, Buckets? You did?
Oh, for the Atalanta game?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No. Well, I know somebody had.
That was Coach. I got to jump in and interrupt your flow. That was Brant Sutton.
Brant Sutton. Oh, thank you. Okay, well, Brant Sutton, he's our third writer for soccer at SportsLine. I never give him enough love. Brant, I apologize. Well, the underdog, the big underdog, has a lead. Atalanta is behind right now, and Brant wants both teams to score. So this is the perfect start. You're getting plus 1.5, and you're getting BTTS. I'm here for it. I sound like an expert now. I sound like I know what I'm doing. All right, so we got the Gurus play, and I love those two plays together. Remember, just a half a unit on Man City. They're already up a goal. Be very careful. But Buckets, the one thing that I've learned about you is whether it is an extreme league someplace in the world we don't know where it is, or a player that you like to target to score. You're really good at that. Well, I need 2 plays from you. So figure it out. What do you got?
I'll make it happen. Let's start with that player that likes to score. Anytime you see Karim Benzema at plus odds for an anytime goal scorer, I don't care who you're playing. You have to throw something on that. He is a future Ballon d'Or winner. He has the most goals in Champions League so far this year, and he has scored 8 goals in his last 7 games. He is in near perfect form, and he's already shown once before that he is capable of giving this Man City side a hard time. So I got that at plus 105 this morning, and I will take that all day. I don't care who they're playing. On the second pick we're going to be going with is I'm not disagreeing with the guru here. This isn't me attacking him for a showdown or anything crazy like that. Okay. But I think we're not giving enough credit to this Real Madrid side. I really think we're going to see them show up and do what Martin mentioned. They're going to be the aggressors, but they're going to come out, and whether they go down 1-0, 2-0, they are going to keep attacking for a full 90 minutes. And this is not a game where we're going to see, them winning 1-0 and then taking this to extra time. They're going to have to score more than once if they realistically want a shot of winning this. So I'm jumping on Real Madrid over 1.5 goals team total at plus 135. Martin loves BTTS. I'm just jumping for that 1 extra goal to get them over that little jump there.
I think this is pretty brilliant by you. So Man City, we know, is going to score at least 1. And so if Real Madrid needs to take this extra time, they've got to score 2. So we could actually, that would cash everything except the Man City to win bet. I'd be okay with that. I know Martin wouldn't be, but I would be okay with that. I'm just trying to piece it all together because I like to play everything you guys give out. I do feel like, Martin, he was calling you out just a little bit there.
I do feel called out a little bit. I do feel a little bit called out here. But coach, if Man City win 3-2 and Benzema scores, we're all happy.
I'll take 3-2. We're all buckets. Would you be good if we're all happy? Can this be about all of us? Can it be about all of us?
Let's make this about all of us. Let's get a 3-2 game here.
Team. Falcon says, Coach, hello from Bakersfield. Hey, okay. Will you be watching Liverpool and Villarreal? No, I won't be watching Liverpool and Villarreal. Of course, I'll be watching Liverpool and Villarreal. That's why we do these shows. All right, we're up against it. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here is the recap, courtesy of the jeweler. And it looks absolutely glorious. The Guru is on Liverpool winning over 1.5 goals. That's a same game parlay. Put it together, minus 105. Then Real Madrid, Man City. Again, you can put this together. Usually most books have this all the way at the bottom, so you got to scroll down, but it's there. This is one bet. Both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. You get a much better price at minus 140. Then a half a unit on Man City to win at plus 110. Then buckets, he's on Liverpool draw. It's a double chance. And under 3.5, minus 115. Leave it to buckets to make it difficult. Then we've got Karim Benzema. Anytime goal scorer plus 105. He said, I don't care who they're playing. You bet this with plus money in front of his name. And then if Real Madrid's going to do something, they've got to score at least twice. And we believe that they can do it. I cannot wait. Remember, Tuesday, Villarreal and Liverpool on Paramount Plus. Then on Wednesday, Real Madrid and Man City on Paramount Plus and the big network, CBS. Follow my guys on social media. They're always active before the games. You want to have as much information as you could possibly have, educate, and entertain. So with that being said, it feels so good to be back in the friendly confines, back home where I belong. So there's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these Champions League tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, I love them all. The Guru, Buckets, and of course the jeweler puts it all together here at the brand. I am the coach. It doesn't matter the sport. It doesn't matter the day. We're going to be here. We're going to be here for you, and we want you to be a part of it. We want you to be a part of it right here at the Early Edge. Good luck.